All right, Kenman here today. It's all about the QSP Penguin. What a great knife. I'm getting kind of started on my more in-depth series. I get a knife, I do an unboxing, but I haven't really had a chance to carry it or talk about how I feel about it because I never really had a chance to carry it. So now I'm kind of getting going through all my knives that I've had a chance to use and experience and have a little bit more to talk about now that I've had it in my life. Yeah. Anyway, before we start, not sponsored by anyone, purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. QSP Penguin. So this knife has got some custom work done to it. I did the laser mark on that blade, if you have not seen. Right there. I did the scale die. On the channel, I like to do a lot of custom work. And so this kind of showcases a couple of those things. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. But yeah, so the QSP, when I got it, this was a jade G10 handle. Just had that nice kind of light jade, soft green color. And then the blade was just all with that black coating. And I've been working on some laser mark stuff. And this is actually a laser mark or laser removal. Since it has the coating on it, if you don't really put a mark on there, you put a black mark on a black blade, you're just going to get burns and stuff. And so this is more of a removal of that actual coating, leaving behind, but you can still get some really cool details. It's basically a laser mark, but it's just a different style. And then I did actually have to go through and dye this handle a couple of times before I ended up happy with this green. Green tends to be kind of a harder color to make work well. And so long story short is I did the video and then kind of revisited it a couple of times with a few different shades and ended up where I'm at now. Quite happy with it. But this knife, when I originally got it, this is a budget knife, the QSP Penguin. It's a D2 steel, like I said. They're around $30. So it's a very well-priced knife. It's a good worker, something that you don't have to spend too much money on, not too worried about maybe losing it or breaking it or whatever, because the investment is not that large. But it is a really smooth, snappy knife. Closes really good. Flicks out really easy. When I originally got this knife, it was stiff. I got a couple of QSPs. I got this one, and then I got a Parrot. And both of them were very similar. And that right out of the box, it kind of, now I can kind of swing it shut, but it would kind of stay, and you'd swing it, and you would kind of, wouldn't be able to get it to move, and it would kind of stick. And this one now, after kind of watching a movie or so and kind of opening it, closing it, I put a little KPL in there. Now it shuts, it opens really good. You can kind of fling it shut pretty easily. So it was kind of one of those things right when I got it. I was like, it's kind of a cheaper knife. I don't expect it to be super high quality when it comes to the smooth action. But look at where we are now. Oops, there's that lefty fail that I do. Right? It opens both ways really well. Getting your finger in there to flick that out is actually really easy. I'm a lefty. Oops. Failing it a little more with my right. What am I doing here? I can't even... I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, we're having fun, right? But yeah, the QSP Penguin is a nice budget-sized knife. I have a few QSPs, like I said, that I've had a chance to kind of mess around with. One of them was a little bit more expensive. We're not talking about those today, though. I am easily sidetracked. So I'm going to try to keep with this in-depth look at some of these knives to only having one knife. This is so difficult. I could reach over here. I could reach over there. I could reach right down here. Ooh, we could look at that one real quick. Nope. Let's just look at this one. I really love the The blade shape of this, for the size, it's a little bit smaller. I tend to like a larger knife. My finger gets all the way to the end of this, but if you're sitting there and you need to do some kind of cuts like that, or if you need to do some pushing, the jimps could go out a little bit further as well. Nice few jumps across there though. It does have a nice feel, but if you needed to cut some stuff, tear some stuff, do some work with this, it actually feels really nice in the hand. Even though I feel like this, it could be a little bit bigger, but I am able to get a full grip, and if I bring my hand tight, got it on the end there. The clip works really well. It kind of swoops up just a little bit higher than I would prefer. It's pretty large, kind of a ramp. If you want to get some good vert, you can come in hot and catch a good air. But you know, the screws aren't recessed, they're kind of raised up little bumps underneath there, but it isn't bad. It goes into the pocket pretty easily. It is a deep carry, you know, your pocket is going to go all the way up to there. It doesn't really catch up, so when you're putting it in and out of the pocket, it seems to go in and out really easy. But I do worry a little bit when that end is like that right there. It's so easy. You're coming around a corner or a car or a seatbelt or something, you could get a hold of that and whomp. Then your pocket clip's done deal. I like the way this is designed though, where it is a notch. Sorry, it's out of focus. A notch in the back. And so left or right side carry, you basically take the screws out and you slide it into that notch. Decent little design. The liners are not nested, they're just full. It doesn't look like they have really much cut out of them either. Not much weight reduction, but ultimately this is a budget knife. And it's not very big or heavy anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. But the action is great. Like I said, I really barely did a lot of anything other than sitting there and opening it and closing it. I did take it apart when I did the die, and I have noticed that when I take a knife apart for a die and get it put back together, it seems to get dialed in a little bit better. And just the action seems to be... every one that I've done for the die, the action is better after the fact. I've had a few where I ended up with the blade not being quite centered, or it was some of them had a little bit of play to them or whatever, but you can continue to dial that in and kind of fix that, even if when you initially get it back together, it's not quite centered. It's not necessarily a huge deal. You can usually fix it. But like I said, most of the time, they have improved for sure. But yeah, that's gonna be about it. All I got to say on this one. It is a great knife for a decent price. If you're interested, I'd recommend it. It's about to leave my possession. If you have not seen, I got a video boom. Basically all of the knives that I've been doing the custom stuff for, and the dies I put up for sale. I don't need to make the money right now. I don't even need to sell them right now. Some of them, like this one's the only one I have. I'll probably just buy another one anyway. But what I do want to do is I want to buy more knives and get more things for the channel. And so 100% of the money from the sales of those knives is going to go into buying more knives that we can customize on the channel and review and talk about and enjoy. So that is the goal. If you are interested, there's a bunch of them. I have them marked at prices basically slightly less than what they retail for. And I didn't mark them up for the custom work or any of the labor or anything that I put into it. I just basically took like the price, and if it was a $40 knife, then I put it for 35 bucks, or, you know, basically something to that effect. If you see one on there and you want to talk about the price, I am up for negotiations. Like I said, I'm not trying to make a profit off anyone. I'm just trying to get some cool custom stuff that I've done in some people's hands, and then use that money to buy more knives for the channel. That's the plan. Really like this. I will probably buy another one, if not for the customization work, just to actually have it, because it is a nice knife and it is something that I have carried around a little bit. and do enjoy. So I probably will highly consider getting another one. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. If you have any recommendations or suggestions for how I'm going to be doing these little more in-depth reviews, I'm open to all comments and info. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.